Are carbohydrates your greatest weight loss ally, or are they an undermining villain? Well, let's begin with an interesting fact. In 2002, the Institute of Medicine came out with this statement that the lower limit of dietary carbohydrate compatible with life is apparently 0, provided that adequate amounts of protein and fat are consumed. The human body, in fact, is perfectly capable to break down protein or fat through a process called gluconeogenesis. So simply put, we don't actually need carbohydrates for energy as we have been told to believe and, of course, buy into. And also, in addition, certain carbohydrates actually decrease blood flow to your brain, make you tired. Think about the Thanksgiving dinner brain fog that you experience. Okay, now this is a shocking realization for those of us who believed in the food pyramid, which recommended that we consume 6 to 11 servings of bread, cereal, and grains every day. Interesting to know that, this food pyramid diet recommendations were never tested on humans. Hi, my name is Bonni, and after nearly 30 years of working to inspire individuals as a personal trainer and dietitian, it's my goal to provide you with the latest tricks to achieve your personal weight and health goals. Now, in today's video, I am going to explain how you can eat carbohydrates that support your health and weight goals and feel great. It has been 40 years since those dietary recommendations were first introduced. Now, this might just be an observation, but it does appear that maybe these recommendations have contributed in some way to our current rising obesity epidemic. Not to mention, we also have the rise of something called non-alcoholic fatty liver, which definitely has been associated with consuming high fructose corn syrup that was first introduced starting in the 1970s. Now, the biggest changes that occurred in our diet is not just the consumption of any carbohydrates, but the ultra highly processed carbohydrates, such as those that certainly contain high fructose corn syrup. In fact, these particular carbohydrates, the processed ones, make up as much as 57% of our diet, leaving only about 11% to fruits and vegetables. If the food pyramid has given us some bad advice about how to manage our weight and stay healthy, what should we do? Well, instead of painfully counting carbohydrates or dreaming about the foods that we are trying to avoid, a much better plan is to really focus on the foods or the right carbohydrates that support our goals. There are fantastic sources of carbohydrates that naturally contain lots of fiber as well as important nutrients. Now, this fiber serves a lot of important roles in the body, such as, of course, definitely helping to keep you full, supporting healthy blood sugar levels, and even feeding the beneficial bacteria in your gut. Now, in addition, your body not only craves calories for survival, but also we understand now that those cravings for flavors are really associated with nutrients that your body also requires for survival. So both of these elements in some carbohydrates, the fiber and nutrient density, can really help you feel more satisfied and full, and consuming less calories, by the way, without having to count them. How great is that? So how can you make carbohydrates your ally and not your villain. Here are my top suggestions, and I have put them into 3 categories. Number 1, what to focus on, what to consume in moderation, and finally, of course, those to try to eat a little bit more sparingly. But there are no restrictions. Nothing is forbidden, because that's really not a fun way to go about this, right? And not sustainable over the long term anyways. So number 1, focus on high fiber vegetables that include things like dark leafy greens like spinach, kale, or arugula. Also, bitter vegetables are also fantastic, how they can also help stimulate the bile, such as broccoli rabe, escarole, or artichoke. Cruciferous vegetables, fantastic. The entire cabbage family, such as broccoli, cauliflower, or cabbage. It's definitely also been associated with anti-cancer properties. Fermented foods, such as sauerkraut, kimchi, and even some pickles, which can feed the beneficial bacteria in our gut. And we cannot forget fruit, but I always like to tell people to focus on the ones that are highest in nutrients and lowest in fructose, such as cherries and berries would be my favorite. Okay, so now the next category to eat in moderation would be those starchy vegetables, such as butternut squash, which I love, sweet potato, cooked beets, cooked carrots. Everything is fantastic. And legumes such as lentils, chickpeas, and kidney beans, although I do suggest trying to get those particularly organic, because apparently they are the most highly sprayed of a lot of the vegetables. And then we do have our unprocessed grains such as quinoa, rice, and oatmeal. Now, finally, the last group would be to eat sparingly, would be those highly processed carbs, such as cake, candy, even some breads and cereal. But they're not off the list. We just don't want to be consuming them all the time, obviously. Okay, so the final takeaway is that if you are interested and not just, getting to your ideal weight, but maintaining your preferred weight while helping to increase your energy and feeling great, you really want to focus on the high fiber vegetables to support your goals, and forget the bottom of the 1980 food pyramid. So if you have found this video helpful, please like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell so you can be notified of the next video. And if you would like to discuss your personal situation, there is a link in the description below to book a no-cost call. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video.